What's going on there, YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. I got to my left, Kenny. I got to my other left, Joe. We're getting in because we're still looking at the Oscars. It's been pretty interesting so far. Chris Rock has made some crazy comments. So far, it looks like Mad Max are just destroying it at the Oscars. But at the same time, we were also watching The Walking Dead as best we could. But I have to say that Untie, which is the 11th episode of The Walking Dead season, it was actually really good in a lot of different ways. But it brings up a lot of different problems for the group in the long term. I'll go into that maybe in our spoiler discussion we're going to have a little bit later on tonight after the Oscars are done. But the biggest high notes for me was definitely the fact that Maggie, Abraham, Sasha, they're having interesting arcs with their characters. Specifically Abraham and Sasha, Maggie and Glenn, specifically Maggie, when they go and actually meet up with Paul, or people call him Jesus, their group called the Hilltop. And the Hilltop group, they're really different, and their first reactions with them, it presents a lot of different problems of unsettlingness, especially when they first met up with Terminus and Alexandra, which is so different. They're kind of a blend of the two, especially when they get to Gregory, which is their, not I say dictator, but their leader. But all in all, it was actually pretty decent. I mean, I'm going to be really short with this one because I want to talk more in spoiler reviews, because the actions that they do in this episode are going to have terrible results in the long term, specifically in relation to Negan's group, because that gets brought up. The Negan's group, the name of them is the Saviors. So I'm really curious to see where it's going to go, but Michonne and Rick, I'll say this, Michonne is still solid, specifically off of last episode, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, as well as like you get to see what Carl's thought is on it as well in this episode, and I thought that was actually really subtly done. I think it could have been a little bit stronger of an episode, but all in all, it was pretty decent. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Nowhere near as crazy as the last thing that happened, especially on the high note of the last episode, but I'm waiting to see what they're going to do next. So hopefully you enjoyed this non-spoiler review for the 11th episode of The Walking Dead. Stay tuned, stay logged. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Talk to y'all soon. Peace. Gosh, I'm tired.